Okay, everyone, we're going to do a pepper project using the pen tool. So this information is at Google Classroom. And what I need you to do first is to go into the classroom assignment. And there are steps, although I'm going to walk you through these in this video. But if you want to walk back through them on your own, you can go ahead and do that. Just some kind of quick steps to make this pepper. And what we're doing is taking a photograph and then tracing it and then copying some of the colors within that photograph. I'll also have you just kind of practice making a simple shape here, reviewing a little bit of color tools and making a gradient, and then also getting into our text tool again, just because that's really helpful as we go into our next assignment that'll be making a logo. All right, so this handout is at Classroom. This graphic is also at Classroom. So now if you would please go ahead and go back to the assignment and grab this graphic and save it to your desktop. So if you come in here to Google Classroom, it's just this image file, click on it, and then you will have to open it in a new window. And then once you get it to a new window, you can click on the download arrow. So click download. Downloaded it, so I'm going to go ahead and just cancel on mine. But what you should have is just that image saved to your desktop somewhere. All right, so here's mine, this pepper. All right, I wanted to show you something with photographs in Photoshop. One way to use Photoshop to work with photos is just to open the file and it'll open up, whoops, this is opening in pictures, so you'll have to do an open with initially. Open with and choose Photoshop. And you'll see with that now we have this file. It's just the image file, and now I can make changes to that. Another way that we can use photos in Photoshop is to drag them onto a canvas. So let me just give you an example in this. You don't have to do this, just kind of see what I do here. So File, New, just opening up a new project, and that just gives us this blank canvas. And what I could do then is come to my computer, whether I open up File Explorer or just go from my desktop, but I can drag an image onto a canvas. And so here's an uncarved pumpkin from our prior project, and then I hit enter. And so that image is just simply part of a larger canvas. Here's another example with our pepper. If I drag the pepper onto the canvas, it makes it part of that project, but it's not open in its own. All right, so if you can see the difference there, here's the pepper as part of a larger project, and here is the pepper on its own. So what we'd like now for this project is just to have the pepper open in its own project, okay? So that way it's a little bigger. We don't have all this other stuff going on. We don't have all these other layers going on. But kind of know that once I made changes to this pepper, now I could drag it onto this canvas. So we'll go back and do that. All right, with your pepper, go ahead, Control plus will help you to zoom in, and that might be helpful as we look at some of our little highlighted areas here. Control minus will allow you to zoom out. So as you're working in Photoshop, kind of be aware of Control plus and Control minus to zoom in and to zoom out. It's really helpful. All right, the other thing that I'll need you to know for this is that we are going to add in some other layers here, but we'll be doing that with the pen tool. All right, so if we come in here, pen tool is right above the T tool. Looks like a calligraphy pen. And as we start adding in our shapes here, or in this case I used paths, so that's another thing we'll have to kind of look at. We'll come up here to our pen tool, click on shape rather than path, and when you click on that, you can make a shape pretty easily, and then hit enter. There I've got a shape that I've made. All right, with that, it added a new layer over here. And we'll have a bunch of new layers coming in. In general, I like you to name your layers, but for this project, you won't have to because we'll have a lot of different layers that we're working with that don't necessarily have descriptive names. All right, those are the basics getting started here. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and then we'll work through the project in the next video. So for right now, make sure that you have this pepper ready to roll in its own file, that you know where the pen tool is, and then we'll get started in the next video to keep these videos kind of short.